My sister-in-law always conveniently forgets her wallet at home. So this time when we were leaving for dinner, I did this. I'm a 28-year-old female. My sister Amy always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet, or comes up with an excuse as to why she can't pay her share. She's implied that since I make much more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I do make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I've just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back, but she never has. She's made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear I would not be paying her bill. This is where I may be the a-hole, and I'll admit I got this move straight from the episode of 2.5 Men. As we were leaving, her and my husband went to the car. I pretended I forgot something, went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills. She said no, we need one bill because she forgot her wallet again. I reached into my purse and said, "Oh, this wallet?" She was extremely furious. She said that I should have not touched her or grabbed her wallet. So, am I the a-hole for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant? Okay guys, Mr. Reddito here. We're gonna look at the update for this story, and one of the titles says, "Why does dear husband keep letting Amy in?" OP replied to that and had this to say. Without getting into too much detail, he has always been expected to pay for nice things for females in his family. He's also been kind of scammed out of large amounts of money by his family. That's slowly been shut down over time, and we're working on shutting down this dinner outing thing. He allows this because he feels bad that they don't have a lot of money. It's sad, but that's how his family got along for a very long time. Being dishonest about everything and anything to get their hands on some extra money or extra financial help. I could write a book on some of the things I've seen them do over the years. It hasn't been easy to show these people how wrong this is. He's talked to Amy about being cheap, has had a come to Jesus talk with her, and genuinely has always felt that each next time would be different. We've been in therapy addressing this, and he's learned to set boundaries. This restaurant thing is a boundary that he's not set yet. It's hard to set all your boundaries all at once when you actually had no clue what boundaries were, and have had no boundaries for years. Next question, does he pay too? We're married. My money is his money. When I mentioned Amy's specifics I should pay, I meant more the she specifies since I make good money, we as a whole should not be, quote, cheap. What was the point if you ended up paying, question? I knew Amy wasn't going to pay. She always finds a way not to pay, so I went to the restaurant fully expecting to foot the bill. I did this because, well, I saw it on a show and thought it would be funny to do it in real life. And to be completely honest, the point wasn't really to get her to pay, it was more to show her that the forgot my wallet excuse was getting old. Is Amy banned from visiting? Fortunately, this post turned out to be a good thing. Dear husband always had it in his head that Amy's a good person, and has her reasons for being sneaky and cheap. Like I mentioned above, in his head, it's not her fault she's the way she is. It's the circumstances of their upbringing that cause her to make bad decisions. But seeing Amy reply to my post and people's responses to Amy has really changed his thinking. That's the first time Amy has outright admitted that she purposely is taking advantage. Reading some of the other comments has also been eye-opening for him. So, dear husband has told Amy she's not welcome here. At least, not for a long while. And the judgment of this entire ordeal. Thanks for all the not the a-holes, but I liked one commenter who said, "Sometimes it's okay to be a jerk." I think that's exactly what it was here. It was a jerk move, but also outweighed by Amy's jerkery. Thanks again, this is the end of this. I won't be updating anymore. So let's take a look at the top comment. I thought it was hilarious. It said, "Not the a-hole, but you totally should have flipped the switch. Left your wallet at home and only brought your license, so she had to cover the whole bill. Then never take her out to a restaurant again." Can you guys even imagine the reaction from sister-in-law if OP would have tried that? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. The next story that we're going to look at today, it is an Am I the A-hole story. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend her boyfriend's not allowed at my wedding? If you guys are new here, consider subscribing as I read daily stories of some of the most dramatic, soap opera-worthy stories. Here comes the next story. I'm supposed to be getting married in early October 2022. It's not going to be a big wedding or anything, but me and my fiance both have friends that we don't want to leave out. I have this friend, Amanda. We've known each other since high school, and we aren't incredibly close by any means. But we're still somewhat good friends, and hang out regularly, and I would like her to be there. The problem is, I just recently found out who she's now dating, and she wants to bring him as her +1. My sister, Lily, and her ex, Steve, broke up about 10 months ago, because she found out he was cheating. She was heartbroken, and I know along with the pain that she still has a lot of resentment for him, and does not even like hearing his name. He was a shit boyfriend, so my family has no problem with him no longer being in our life. 8 months ago, Amanda told me she started talking to someone, and she really liked him. And everything was going good. She would not tell me who, not even his name. Because, well, she said she did not want to share anything about him till it got a little more serious. I don't really understand the secrecy, but did not force her to tell me anything and just let her know I was happy for her, and I hoped it worked out. Well, last week, she told me she was dating Steve. They've gotten more serious, and she wanted to make their relationship public to the people they care about. She also said she knew how much I disliked him and what he's done to my sister, and hoped I would understand, or try to understand, their love, and just to be happy for her and try to see him in a different light. I was a little shocked at first, since I really did not expect her to be with a guy like him, and she knew what kind of person and boyfriend he was. But it wasn't my place, and I told her that I'm happy, she's happy, and that was that. Well, 2 days later, we're texting about the wedding and everything, and she mentioned Steve's being her +1. I do not want him there. Not only because I know my sister, who's my maid of honor, does not want him there, but also because I don't like him, and neither does my fiance. I immediately told her that Steve was not invited to the wedding. She was confused, and I explained to her that I'm sorry, I'm happy for her, but I don't want him there. At first, she thought it was just because my sister would be, and kept saying that they would not even be near each other. It would be fine. But then I explained that with everything that happened, we don't want him there, all of us. I said sorry again, but she kept saying how I don't want her to be happy, how I just want to live in the past, and how I want to punish her for finding true love. You know, stuff like that. None of that's true, and I tried to tell her, but she stopped responding. So now I'm left feeling a complete a-holeness, and I don't know if I should just let Steve come or not. Edit/update. First of all, I want to thank everyone so much for the comments and giving judgment. I know I haven't really replied to everyone, but I tried to give an extra bit of info that was asked for or relevant, though I'm sorry. Now, as I've mentioned in the comments, I had a lapse of judgment, and that's what led to this post. I thought maybe I was seeing things simply from my distaste for Steve, and it was coming off as I wasn't supportive of Amanda. And that's what made me think I was wrong for not allowing him to come. But I see now I'm completely in the right to not have or want him there. So he's not invited, and that will not be changing. With Amanda, I've pretty much decided that she's no longer invited to my wedding, and I'm pretty sure I'm ending the friendship. But I did want to sit down with her and have a conversation first. Not to salvage anything, but I have some things to say to her and questions to ask. Okay, now about the cheating. I mentioned in the comments that we only know of 3 girls Steve cheated with. We all believe that there's more, especially since one of the affairs goes all the way back to a year. But we don't know for sure and have no solid evidence at the moment. Lily does not really care to find out. Amanda could very well be one of the unknown affair partners. It's very likely, and the timing and secrecy made more sense to believe she was. Even though I intend to end this friendship, I'm finding it hard to believe that Steve wasn't cheating with her. It would still suck if she had been. Another thing I mentioned in the comments was that Amanda had offered support to my sister when everything happened. She even said more than once that, quote, Steve was an a-hole for hurting Lily. And for that to most likely have been an act would suck to know. I would also like to clear up something about Amanda, and her wanting to, quote, make their relationship public. Right after she told me they were dating, she started posting them on social media and telling people. So my wedding would not really be their coming out event, though it would definitely be a way for them to show off their relationship and gloat to everyone. Still not okay, but just wanted to clear the air and not mislead you guys. Last thing, laugh out loud. I was finally able to get a response out of Amanda. I told her I would like to talk to her about everything and get everything out in the open, as she agreed to meet with me and talk. So I'll update when whatever happens. Okay guys, Mr. Reddito here. This story's really heating up and getting crazy. I have the complete update. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please know that it supports me so much just to press the subscribe button, and let's hop directly into this update. I didn't really want Amanda coming to my house, so we met at this small cafe place near where I live. I figured it would not be too crowded and we would be able to have a discussion easily there, so it was the best option. She was there first, and as soon as I sat down, she looked extremely smug. It seems that she thought I hadn't wanted to apologize or something. I thought I would be telling her Steve was invited to the wedding. Imagine her surprise when I almost immediately tell her that Steve is no way allowed to attend, and I've officially decided to resend her invite as well. She was instantly angry, asking why I would do that, when I obviously was in the wrong. Why I would uninvite her simply because she wanted her partner there. Bullcrap like that. I let her rant for a minute before I calmly told her what I wanted to say. I told her that my family and literally everyone important to me would be at the wedding, and they did not like Steve. No one but her wanted him there, and multiple people would be uncomfortable if he was. I also told her it was my wedding, and me and my fiance are the only 2 people who gets to decide who comes and who doesn't. I was clear she was allowed to want her boyfriend there, but I wasn't obligated to cater to her wants, especially when it's someone I don't like at all. I even told her that if she just did not decide to come at first, since he couldn't, I would understand. But she tried to guilt trip me into inviting someone who wasn't wanted. So that's why she no longer wanted to go. I told her how her actions made me feel and how I now perceived her, and made it clear I wanted to end our friendship and stop our contact. She was furious through every word. Before I ended the conversation, I told her that I had a question, and I wanted the complete truth. Honestly, wasn't sure if I would get it though. I asked her point blank, was she with Steve before he and Lily split? She got nervous, would not even make eye contact with me and stayed silent for a few seconds. I figured that told me all I needed to know. But I honestly wanted to hear her say it. Then she did. She told me they've been together for a year total. They started sleeping together when Steve and Lily got into an argument, and Amanda started falling for him, so thought being his mistress was better than not having him at all. At first, he would only go on with Lily and him when they fought, but then he started going to her whenever Lily was busy, or his other girls were. She did not feel sorry about it at all and kept trying to justify her actions. She even tried to justify her ability to look my sister in her eyes, to comfort her. All that even though she was ducking Steve for so long. She really thinks she did the right thing just because she loves him. At one point, she said that they were really in love, and she was the only one in his life now. I felt bad for her then, I admit, but that's not my problem. I got up, walked out, and drove straight to my sister's where I'm at now. Told her that what I've learned, and we're having a very fun girls' night, ice cream, alcohol, and movies. Amanda and Steve are no longer my concern, and I've decided to enjoy the stress-free time while I've got it. 'Cause I know I'm gonna be stressed the closer the wedding day gets. Thank you everyone who commented. You were all right about the cheating and everything. I'm extremely thankful you all opened my eyes. So I want to read a comment and I want to know your opinion on this. It's kind of a theory. I wager that when Steven finds out that dating Amanda, who thinks they're so happy together, poor sap, isn't going to force contact with Lily, he's gonna dump Amanda and try to some other way weasel his way back in. Cheater wants his girlfriend back. Guys, that's an interesting theory. Let me know what you think about it. Is this guy only coming to the wedding so he can weasel his way back? Drop your thoughts below and we're gonna turn to the final story of the video. I'm 24 yet male, dad's 57, is hurt and does not understand why neither me or siblings have named any of our kids after him. Well, let's find out why not. Okay, so I'm one of 3 kids that my mom and dad had before they divorced. I'm the youngest and they split when I was 5. My dad's been in and out of our lives since the ink dried of the divorce. He moved in with his girlfriend and her kids while they got to spend every day with him. Me and my brother and my sister saw him at best twice a year. It's been this way for 2 decades now. When my sister was 17, she had her first and named him after our grandfather, who she's always been close to. At 19, she then had 2 twin boys, and a girl who she named after a deceased uncle on mom's side of the cousin that we grew up with. My brother at 21 had his first, and he too named it his first son after a family member. Our dad's brother, who looked after us whom mom had to work or while dad was watching his other kids. Later on, my brother had another son, but he was named after someone on my sister-in-law's side of the family. And after that, my sister again, when she was 30, had another son, and just made him a junior after his dad. My dad's maybe met his grandkids a handful of times, and even then it wasn't him actively coming to see them. More, they were just at the same place and the same time, like a family barbecue or a wedding. He'd always laugh and say how he could not wait for one of his grandkids to be named after him. Now, I know I'm sure as hell not gonna name any of my kids after him, and I'm the one with the best relationship with him out of us three. Now, when I got my girlfriend pregnant and had a boy, we gave him his own original name. But his middle name has a male version of my mother's name. When my dad found out the name, he flipped out. He made a group chat, sent a voice note cussing us out, saying we were disrespecting him and that he deserves to be honored, and that the names we picked for our children are awful, and that their names are such losers, and demanded to know why we haven't named a single grandchild after him. Frankly, I told him that there were so many people in our lives that helped take care of us, and helped raising us that deserves to be honored more than he did. That he did not even do the bare minimum. My brother said that maybe his girlfriend's kids will name their kids after him. This was in poor taste, I'll admit, because one is unable to have kids and the other doesn't want any. And even if they did, they're too much of an addict to be allowed to keep their children. We argued back and forth about this, and he threatened to cut us off the will, and the whole family, except that backfired, as no relatives followed his lead. He later called me crying to change my son's first name to his, but I love my son's name, and so does my girlfriend, so I told him no. It's been weeks since, and I've heard from him none, but he won't return any calls or messages. His girlfriend says he's alive and that's all I need to know, and remarked how cruel we were and always have been. I know the not picking his name thing isn't our bad, but we're at fault in telling him why and for getting him blacklisted from the family. So, am I the a-hole? I think OP should just cut contact completely, as it seems like it's a very toxic relationship. If you've ever been involved in a similar situation as OP has, drop yours in the comment section below so I can read it, and we'll discuss it more. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate all the love and support. Please click that like button, subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. The latest Mr. Reddito producer, Christine Billings. Thank you so much for the support.